Hey everybody, I'm Chris Jacobs and welcome to another edition of Griot's Garage Cars We Can't Sell. Right now it is my privilege to be driving Richard Griot's 1996 Porsche 993 4S. Now Richard calls this car his baby and you're about to find out why. Here is Nick and Richard Griot.
So this is definitely a car we cannot sell, and I know it's very special to you, Dad. What is this?
Well, this is kind of the epitome of Griot's Garage. It's a 1996 Porsche 993 C4S. I had heard that they were going to discontinue the air-cooled Porsches. I started freaking out, started rounding up money I didn't have, went to the bank to see if I could, take out a second note on the house for this car. I was just kind of doing everything I could to buy the last air-cooled Porsche. And then it was on again, off again. I had just spec'd it out with red stitching and the motor sound package and, with the sports seats and trying to make it as much as a Griot's Garage version of a Porsche as I could. And I picked it up in Europe. The gentleman that went with me to Europe, he was an old vice president, and I told him that I canceled the order because I finally just said, this car's too expensive. But don't worry, I rented a Porsche. And so we take the Porsche tour, which is something that we did every time we went to Germany. I'm like really nervous. I didn't sleep the night before. I'm walking up the steps and they have this showroom where all the cars are delivered. And there's probably about 50 cars there for their new owners. And I see my car in the back and Mark is just going back and forth looking at every car. And I just make a beeline for mine. I'm just like looking at it and just, studying it and stuff. And Mark finally comes over and goes, oh my God, this is your car. I said, yeah, this is my car. And he goes, no. Somebody ordered exactly your car. And it's got the red stitching. It has the red seat belts. It has the sports seats. It said, this is your car. I said, Mark, this is my car. And, it just doesn't register with him. Finally, the Porsche delivery rep comes over and goes, thank you, sir. Here's the keys to your car. And Mark just explodes. He starts crying. He starts jumping up and down. This is your car. This is your car. I said, yeah, I've been trying to tell you the last 20 minutes. This is my car. I mean, it's like seeing one of your newborn babies for the first time, right?
You compare us to cars quite a bit, but no, I think this is pretty special because you mentioned it and I didn't really process it before, but this is the first new Porsche, right? You gold to order this. And then I think the story was that it was supposed to be your 40th birthday present and you bought it when you were 36.
Yeah, well, they were going to hand
And you
it.
clearly put your wife and kids at the risk of losing a home.
I didn't think schooling was important for you guys or any future planning.
I think it could be excused. I mean, it's...
Well, it's endured all these years. It's almost 30 years old now. And so, we picked it up at the factory. We're on the Autobahn, literally within 5 minutes from, Porsche's factory. And they said, do not rev it past, 5,400 for, 1,000 miles. So we were doing 130 miles an hour already at 5,400. I go, oh God, this car's got more into it. Of course, Mark is over there in the passenger seat screaming like a little baby and, grabbing onto the side of the, handle. It's just probably one of the nicest, cleanest designs. I don't think there's too many people that don't want a Porsche sometime in their life. And I think once they finally do get in one of the older ones with the thin A-pillars, it's just a marvelous driving experience, especially the old ones. My old 72S, you really had to know how to drive and drive well if you wanted to make a Porsche drive fast. And that meant, hanging out and a lot of oversteer and just controlling the rear end coming around because there's all the weight's in the back. It hangs way, way off the back. But quite honestly, I've always loved Porsches.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate just the path of ownership from 912 to 911S and then the patience to wait for the right one. And I do think that, everybody can argue about the right generation of Porsche, but there's nothing quite like the sound of an air-cooled Porsche.
Yeah.
So there's obviously faster Porsches. There's even faster 993s, right? Turbos and as you start spooling it up. But a naturally aspirated air-cooled Porsche is, I think, such an early essence of Porsche. And to your point, modern Porsches are faster
Yeah.
But they're bigger and they have a little bit more weight. But I think this was the right balance. You get the all-wheel drive of the C4S. You get the bigger hips of the turbo without all the turbo glitz. It showed restraint, and I think this is kind of a timeless color combination. And I do appreciate the concept of like, oh, I've got a goal. I'm building the business. I want to have something in mind, and I've thought about Porsche since day one. So I think the reason that this car is special to me is that I knew it was special to you at a very young age. I mean, I was 8 or 9 years old when I got driven to school in the back of this thing, and our legs weren't really long enough that those seats actually function for humans. 16th birthday, he asked me to wash it. It was kind of like you actually want me to wash it? Because I had learned how to wash black cars on the 740. So washing it was the first it's like a privilege, but it's a test. Like, what's going on here?
See what you learned.
Like, I'm going to get kicked out of the house because it's a lot smaller car. Can't miss a spot here. But then he gave me the keys and said, go drive it. Yeah. And I think that knowing how precious it is to you, that like thinking about that moment, I don't know that I do that with my kids. But, and I did exactly what you expect a 16-year-old boy to do. I didn't go on the freeway or anything, but I definitely grabbed gears and kissed 90 miles an hour on a 35 mile an hour street and brought it back in one piece. But
I never heard that story. But,
well, it was, I don't know what you would expect other than that. Super low mileage still too. I mean,
super low mileage.
Really...
It's hard to drive a car in the Northwest. You only get literally like 4 months. What is really unique about the 96 is that it has the VarioRam. So those are like tubes, that adjust their size depending on on what they want to see, torque and high horsepower. And once you crest like 5,000, 5,500, it goes whoop inside. And it's just like, you just know the mechanics of all that working. And it's just like this rush of just, okay, I'm going to take this to red line. And on the way, we're going to hear the whoop.
You made a comment earlier too, like every car enthusiast dreams of Porsche. I think a lot of people do end up back at Porsche because they have been excellent for so long. And a lot of people that dive into cars deep enough see the racing heritage, see a platform like the 911, which is largely unchanged in concept and shape.
Yes.
Minor iterations, safety, power, turbo, and then they started building SUVs, but the 911 remained pure.
Yeah.
So to put your eye on the one that when you thought you could justify it, when you thought you could own it, it was your goal, there it was. And that's what this car means to me in thinking about you, and just knowing that I think there's like 4 different names on the bottom of it. Because my brothers and I all have the same feeling about it, and we love this car.
That's the car that it will never be sold.